was the number?
It was 561.
Oh, that's West Palm.
Alright, cool. Now we're good. Alright, camera is running.
Oh.
Wunderbar.
So, wunderbar.
Wunderbar.
That almost sounded like Apu Apu from Crash Bandicoot.
Oh. What was it?
You know they just released number 4.
No.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The whole team even got back together.
Yeah, everyone. It's,
I have 1, 2, and 3 for the Switch. I love the shit out of it.
They also teased a new Spyro game in
I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Dude, and I just went. I ended up getting the remastered version of Spyro for the Switch. It's fucking it's amazing. So much nostalgia.
And then
fucking money bags.
Courtney got it on her PlayStation. She got all the remastered Spyros and Crash, and we just sat there playing them every single night.
Great.
All right.
Allow us to begin.
And then
Last session. So, last session, after reviving the worn and wary gentleman who came out of the Frostfell elemental when it fell into nothing, speaking with him for a short period of time, coming up with a plan to get the cocoon out of the central pillar, putting your plan in play. As the ceiling starts to collapse and the chamber fills with water behind you, you all dive down into the tunnel leading down into the ground. A twirly, swirly travel later, you find yourself falling through a portal leading into a rather unsavory location in a cloud giant castle.
We popped out of a toilet, James.
You can just say it.
If you would rather be crude.
We were shat in an upwards direction.
We've all watched Flushed. We saw what happened.
Exactly. Thank you. I was thinking of that just the fucking other day.
Oh, I didn't get any musical slugs. I'm very disappointed.
I mean, it's part of the party.
As we come up, you hear.
Meeting the young Nathala, daughter of the chieftain of the Cloud Giants. She agreed to help you all escape the Cloud Giant Castle without notice, preferably. Asking if you would help her with a favor along the way. She proceeds to get you all to her father's study to gain access to his secret treasure trove, if you will. A significantly longer time than I had expected of spending on trying to figure out the puzzle.
You always think so well of us.
I know.
That's your first mistake.
I genuinely do.
Damn,
You
like,
overestimate
check the
our-
books, and then we just go.
You underestimate our stupidity sometimes.
The whole
You
other
guys
thing-
were like half an inch from the solution
I
to the
know.
puzzle so many times.
Daniel did so well.
So
Daniel
here-
did so
He
well.
did. He genuinely did. Like he literally got you all like right up to the cusp, and then he kind of ran out of ideas, and like
We just
everybody
should've-
else was like,
We just should have tried to
Shiny
pick up the
thing.
book. We were like, it's too heavy for us to pick up. You know, let's move on. Should have picked up the fucking heavy book.
See, it's
I didn't want to put too much emphasis on the fact that there were dates on the spines of all of them, but I figured that was going to be the clue in. But
right. So here's the way that I view things. A person is smart. A person is intelligent.
you are correct.
People are stupid.
That is correct.
Okay. So the same reason I use whenever I'm driving
Mm-hmm.
is the same rules that need to be applied when we're playing.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But you guys did do really good, though. I mean, as far as everything goes. I did intentionally put the chessboard there for multiple reasons, one of which was obviously to as a secondary to kind of pull you away from the main one, the main trigger, if you will.
We have to fight them.
Double zeros is 10.
It's opposed next
Double
to
zeros is yeah.
But I also genuinely thought it was just a really cool idea of a giant using regular-sized people as chess pieces.
That was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that was very cool.
It was also my mindset on how on earth, like, what is the reason for a giant to have regular-sized treasure in his treasure hold? Well, the reason would be because he uses them to outfit the pieces on the chessboard.
Oh.
And that was my mentality behind it, you know.
That's fair.
Pretty cool.
So, finding the hidden treasure, unlatching it, gaining access to it, as Nathala proceeds to transform into one of her father's generals as a way of framing him for the action. You all pocket the treasure and head towards the trash chute leading directly to the lower tunnels.
Another toilet.
Making your way through the tunnels, heading out towards the exit cavern at the bottom of the clouds, gaining new allies for the party
Mounts.
through some excellent use of skills and some not so excellent use of skills.
It worked, okay?
Some incredibly humorous use of skills, absolutely.
Says the abuse of lucky.
Free fall.
A perfect example why I have no problem allowing somebody to blow all 3 luckies when they're out of combat on one
What would-
skill check.
What would have happened? Would he have just yeeted me off the edge or something?
It was more so than anything just a matter of seeing how well you could hold on. It was reading your mount well enough to know when to hold on, how to hold on, and just not lose your grip. Anything shy of a 1, you're okay. It would be humorous more than anything. A 1 would have been interesting, but
2 wants to
How many
be better.
uses of Featherfall do you get a day?
Featherfall wouldn't help him at all.
Oh yeah.
Eventually it would. It'd take him a bit, but
Four.
he'd get there.
Oh.
it would have required a reflex saving throw to see if he could cast it in close enough to the ground without splatting, but
That would have been fun.
But, yes, you end up making it down to the ground. Several days of travel later, partially through the Enarok Desert, partially through the fields and mountains leading up to your tower, you make it home.
We were unaccosted this entire time.
Correct.
Odd. Did we, like, by any chance, I know we're kind of, like, retroactively doing it, but did we see any kind of, like, wildlife or anything like that as we're coming up?
Which section are you talking about?
Not through the desert, but through the forest.
The desert, there would have been a handful of times you would have seen what would have looked like camp lights or something like that far off in the distance. General knowledge of the area, it was probably Bedouin tribes moving around from point A to point B. When you hit grassland and fields between the Anarok and the mountains, there probably would have been, a chance to see like some small game.
Okay.
Closer up towards the mountains, you would probably see a handful. As you get higher up in the mountains on that side of it, probably some of the larger like mountain rams.
Okay. All right, I was just checking because, like, with the disappearance of angels, if there's also a lack of wildlife, that means that something evil is in the area.
No. Everything around the tower all seems to be fairly natural. There's no untoward feelings.
I
Okay.
feel like if something was unnatural, I would probably get a hint.
Fair enough. I just wanted to ask.
He's actually pretty fair in giving us ideas on who should start
Yeah.
looking for stuff.
Yeah, and what was I going to say? You had already basically heard from the angels that they were in the process of kind of moving their operation to a more tenable position. It was mostly a matter of they were using the top floor of your tower, not only to kind of help you guys out, but also as a way of, we just got kicked out of where we were. We need some place to stay for a couple of days until we can get something else set up. That was kind of the basic idea.
That sounds familiar.
At least you have a car to sleep in now.
Good news is none of them.
No, he doesn't.
Good news is none of them look like meth addicts, so you don't have to check the silverware.
Fair enough. Dude, we don't think we had any silverware.
No, you don't.
Not yet, if she has her way.
Hey, you could get some really fine silverware that way.
Actually, that's how Jonathan, every time we went to a restaurant his freshman year, he would walk out with like salt, shakers.
Yeah.
plates.
That's basically how I furnished my whole entire first apartment that I
Same.
ever had. Was I did
That's how we
stuff
got
like that. Yeah.
Marlena's wine glasses, everyone at the table, we just all took everything from Olive Garden and walked out.
And if you really need to furnish an apartment or something, what you do is you get really temporary jobs where you work there for a day and you just walk out with all their pots and pans and stuff. And you just
I don't
never come
necessarily
back.
know why we go that far, but
Yeah, because at that point they got your fucking social.
And everything
The
else.
thing,
What you do is you, no,
They
if,
never
you
You're-
want, if you want really good stuff, wait till the end of like a semester. All the rich college kids, instead of taking all the shit home, they just
yeah,
dump
they
and
put
buy
it
stuff
out by
every year.
the
So if you want TVs, coffee makers, lamps, just go raid the colleges.
I need a coffee maker.
We've got some really fucking nice curators.
Jamie, our father, when he used to work do maintenance at the at the condos down in Palm Beach, it was his job to go around, and when somebody was coming back from up north to spend the summer down here, they would have them completely refurnish the whole entire place from the ground up. So they had to take all the stuff that was in there, bring it out, so that the new movers could bring all of the new stuff in. And so they would routinely get things like TVs and couches and like just like new curtains, whatever. Like it didn't really
Everything's
matter.
staged.
Yeah, because they didn't care. It was all brand new. Like they would literally live in the place for like 4 months, completely refurnished, head back up north, and then when they came back down the next year,
they would do it
they
again.
would do it all over again.
All the snowbirds still do it.
Yeah.
Even
So-
companies, like when I work for the state, when they pay to like renovate stuff, it
Mhm.
either has to be donated or destroyed.
Right.
So you just go out and you would get like brand new conference tables, desks, office chairs, gaming chairs.
Wonderful.
Something like they do it all the time.
It's not
Well,
robbing
our
if they're
company-
giving it away.
I mean, it has barcodes on it. They just rip the barcodes.
I
off
wrote the
here.
actual.
Right.
And make
Oh,
sure, and
fuck.
like, and make sure if you ever get rid of it, you just destroy it instead of dropping it off somewhere.
So, making it back to the tower, discovering the tower empty,
And the door.
and the door looking a little bit worse for wear.
Bastard.
It was not like.
But
The window was open.
now,
Burn my tower.
You have 5 platinum pieces now. You're fine.
Oh yeah, no, I'm good.
the time is yours. What would you all like to do?
Did we ever decide if I'm helping R with his arts and crafts project?
The next morning, because you get back to the tower, it would have been just after noon by the time you got back there. Getting things set down, kind of getting yourselves reset back up. You end up turning in for the night. By the time you wake up in the morning, R has already left.
Okay.
He has gone on his own personal information quest.
Okie dokie.
Luthani would like to start his day using a few of his hand axes and such. Trying to clean up and build weapons racks and stuff like that in the training room.
Okay.
See if he can attempt to repair it in any way, shape, or form.
Okay.
It's
It's easy enough. You don't necessarily even have to go. I mean, it depends. Are you just wanting to like kind of disassemble some of the stuff in the training room, or do you want to actually go find something to kind of woodwork into it?
I would definitely like to keep the things in the training room. I would like to make use of them.
Okay.
If I just have to find some nails around, because you did say there were barrels with bits of
Yeah.
refuse and stuff.
There-
It's safe to say when I cleaned everything out, I would have kept things that were useful.
Correct. Things that would have been like just generally useful around the tower. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's easy enough. In one of the original storage closets that you had run into, because you kind of got the impression that as you were heading up the tower, usually the smallest section of each floor butted up against the stairs was usually a storage closet of some type.
Yeah.
One of them was used for cleaning supplies. One was used for kitchen utensils and supplies. One looked like it had some sort of like general maintenance type supplies. It would be easy enough. You could find nails, no problem. Heading out of the tower, in the gorge, there's a handful of small young trees. None of them would grow very large, but they would all be easily enough cut down, stripped, turned into what you're looking for as far as like a couple crude weapon racks. They're nothing to really look at, but you know.
Are we gonna make them cure the wood before we use it? How realistic are we gonna get?
Do you want me to cure the wood?
Try it.
Not necessarily. I mean,
He's just slamming
These
it
are
up. He doesn't really know what he's
yeah,
doing.
you're not looking for anything that's going to be like super permanent, but yeah.
Other than that, he would like to sit with the signet ring.
Okay. That'll take the majority of like the morning at least, probably up until about 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock when it comes lunchtime. Anybody else doing anything right off the bat in the morning?
Gyato, as soon as he wakes up, is going to seek out Balthamar.
Okay.
He would have seen him talking to the elf about, or not the elf,
The gnome.
yeah, the gnome about stuff. He's going to seek him out and go, hey Balthamar, sorry. Since I'm starting the part of your guys' party now, might you happen to have an empty room I could use while I'm here?
I would like to telepathically ask Elise if we have any spare rooms at the moment.
There are plenty of spare rooms, honestly. You, of course, took the Archmage's room. Below that were the 4 rooms that were originally used for the lieutenants that have been taken by the party. But the next floor below that, I believe Arkin has a room on the next floor below in the special suites, which there are, I don't remember,
All
He has,
of,
like,
a decent
3.
number.
Yeah, there's,
But-
like,
It was like, I want to say it was like 15 or 20. It was a pretty decent number.
okay. I'll go ahead and
The barracks had like 100 rooms.